Today we are going to solve right triangles, and then we're going to use our knowledge of solving right triangles to solve angle of elevation and depression problems. So first, understand that when looking at a right triangle, capital letters are used for your angles, and lowercase letters are used for your sides. And it's always opposite. So the angle and the side are opposite of one another. In order to solve right triangles, you need to be familiar with SOHCAHTOA. So sine being opposite over the hypotenuse, cosine being the adjacent over the hypotenuse, and tangent being opposite over the adjacent. So, if we're going to find the hypotenuse of this given triangle here, ACB, where we're given that angle A is 25 degrees and side A is 10. So using that information, we can solve for the hypotenuse using sine, because we know the opposite and the hypotenuse. So we can say the sine of 25 is equal to 10 over what we'll call C, which is our hypotenuse. So, to solve for C, we're going to set up a ratio. So we'll put this over 1. And we can cross multiply and say that the sine of 25 times C is equal to 10. Now, in your calculator, make sure that it is in degree mode. So press mode and make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. So highlight degree. Now, we can solve for C by dividing. So C is going to be equal to the sine of 25. I'm sorry, 10, that is, divided by the sine of 25. So your calculator, root 10 divided by the sine of 25. And we get that C, our hypotenuse, is equal to 23.66. So unless it's indicated otherwise, we're going to round to 2 decimal places. Rounding to 2 decimal places means we're going to look at the third number. And remember, if it's 5 or above, we push the second number up. If it's less than 5, which in this case it is, then we keep it the same. Okay? So to find the measure of angle B, we can use the knowledge that the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. And knowing that angle C is indeed 90 degrees, so we can take 90 and subtract the measure of angle A, which is 25 degrees, to get the measure of angle B to be 90 minus 25, which is 65 degrees. So if we want to find the length of side B, again, I'm only going to use given information. So using that the measure of angle A is 25, and its side A is 10. So which trig function do you think we can use? Knowing the opposite and looking for the adjacent, we're going to use tangent. So tangent of 25 is going to be equal to the opposite, which is 10, divided by the adjacent b. So again, set up the ratio. We can say that this is over 1, cross multiply. We can say the tangent of 25 times b is equal to 10. So now in solving for b is going to be equal to 10 divided by the tangent of 25. We'll go to our calculators again. 10 divided by the tangent of 25. Enter, and we get b to be 21.45. So we can verify that side B is indeed 21.45 using a different method. So knowing that our hypotenuse is 23.66, if we did the cosine of 25, that would be equal to the adjacent b, our unknown, equal to divided by 23.66 being our hypotenuse. Now we can solve for b just by multiplying cosine of 25 times 23.66, which is going to make b, we go to our calculators and say cosine of 25 times 23.66. We get 21.44, which kind of verifies what we got because it is still extremely close. All right. The important thing to get from this is that there is going to be multiple ways to get your sides and angles. You just need to make sure you're using the appropriate trig function when you do evaluate. Now let's look at how to solve for an angle. So to do that, we are going to be using inverse trig functions, and they'll be done using the calculator. So if you look at your calculator at the blue, you'll see inverse sine, inverse cosine, and inverse tangent. So you're going to press second and use the appropriate trig function. So if we're looking for BC, which is, let's call it A, because it's opposite angle A. Then, knowing the hypotenuse and the other leg, we can use Pythagorean theorem. So in this case, A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So we're looking for A. We know B is 11, so 11 squared, and that's equal to 15 squared. So A squared plus 121 is equal to 225. Subtract 121. You get A squared is equal to 104. So then square root both sides. So that you're going to get A is equal to 10.2. Put the square root of 104 in your calculator. The second square root 104, you get 10.2. Okay? So there we have A, which is the same as BC. So now to find the measure of angle A, this is where we're going to use the inverse trig function. So the measure of angle A. Knowing that the adjacent is 11 and the hypotenuse is 15. So if we know the adjacent and the hypotenuse, we can use cosine. So we can say the cosine of A is equal to 11 divided by 15. So to find out what that angle is, we can say the inverse cosine is equal to 11 divided by 15. So in your calculators, second cosine, 11 divided by 15. Close it, press enter. So that tells me that the measure of angle A is 42.83. So to get the measure of angle B, I'm just going to subtract my measure of angle A from 90. So 90 minus second answer in this case. So my measure of angle B is going to be 47.17. But again, if I want to verify it using a different method, again, I'm looking at angle B, I'm given the opposite now and the hypotenuse. So I can use inverse sine. The opposite is 11, the hypotenuse is 15. So if I go to my calculator again, the second sine 11 divided by 15. Enter. We get that the measure of angle B is 47.17. Okay, so what I would like for you to do is complete the attached worksheet. Come back, check your answers, and then feel free to come see me during Widow Block or after school if you have any questions.